All right, good evening. We'll go ahead and get started. 1 second. All right, so let's get started in a child's pose. Okay, so you can bring those knees as wide as you would like, toes together, pressing those hips back to those heels. You'll slide those hands forward, rest that head down. So a little bit more active here. So pressing into those palms, and pressing down, and then almost like we're trying to grip back. So we're pulling those shoulders back into the sockets. We're pressing those hips to those heels, finding that lengthening through that upper back. Just take a big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Now we'll make that core a little bit tighter. Just feeling that big expansion through the lungs, the rib cage on that inhale. Exhaling, pressing all of that breath out. Into a little bit more active breath. So really pull that breath in. And press that breath out. And we'll lift up slightly. We'll walk those hands over to that right side. You can walk those hands off of the mat. Big reach through that left arm and then pressing that left hip back towards that left heel. And then walk those hands to center. Let's go over to that left side. Big reach to that left arm, or the right arm, pressing that right hip back towards that right heel. And bring it back to center. Let's come up onto those hands and knees. So just adjust those knees to the right underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. On that inhale, drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as you look up. Exhale, round that spine, press the shoulder blades away, draw that belly up and in. And inhale, drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. And round. And bring it back to neutral. Go ahead and step those feet back to our plank. Bring those hips up to that downward facing dog. Just take a few breaths, pedal those feet out, sway those hips, whatever you feel like you need. Loosen up those ankles, calves, hamstrings. And now inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet to those hands. Find the hands up the shins, half lift. And exhale those hands down as we fold. Just let that head hang nice and heavy. Bending into those knees, flatten out that back. Let's rise up to standing, reach up nice and tall. Those hands are reaching back. Good, hips are pressing forward. And exhale, bring it back down. Inhale that half lift. And exhale, plant those hands, stepping those feet back to our plank. Okay, drop the heels to the right, left arm reaches up, thread that arm underneath that right armpit, then inhale that arm up, back to our front plank, heels go to the other side as that right arm reaches up, thread that arm through, inhale, bring it back up, and then lower that hand down, shift that weight forward, we'll add in that push up, so lower, pause in that low plank, lift it back up nice and strong, and then we'll lower. Inhale, lift cobra or upward facing dog. This first one, you can always modify a little bit. And then exhale, we'll send those hips up to the sky, down dog. And now inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach it up and back, press hips forward. Exhale, come right back down. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant those hands, step those feet back to plank. Side plank to the right, left arm up, and thread it through. Inhale, send it back up. Front plank, heels to the left, right arm reaches up, thread it through. Inhale it back up. Front plank, shift it forward, one push up, and vinyasa. And exhaling those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. And then we'll inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, bring it right back down. Half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Stepping or hopping the feet back. Side plank to the right. Thread. Inhale it up. Hand down. Other side. And thread that arm through. Inhale it back up. Front plank. Push up. And then vinyasa. And exhaling those hips to the sky, down dog. And we'll come on to those toes, start to round that spine as we roll it forward to our plank. So the chest will pull forward, lengthen out, and then round through the upper back, mid back, low back. Press those hips up, heels down. And again, come on toes, roll it forward. Plank, and then round it, roll it back down dog. Last one, round it forward. And round it back to that down dog. One more breath. Feet together. Inhale, that right leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee into the nose. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through. Back heel grounds down. Inhale, reach those arms up into that warrior one. So that right heel pulls back. Left foot is pulling forward. Shoulders relax down. Core tight. Bend a little deeper into that front knee. Let's pull those arms down behind the back, interlace those fingers. Maybe bring those hands away from the hips, bend a little deeper into that front knee. Now hover that chest right above that thigh, and we'll lift that left leg up. So squaring those hips off, pointing those toes down, reaching those knuckles back. Now one more breath. Now take a big step back. The back heel will stay lifted. Arms, finding that balance. Arms will reach up. Sink a little deeper into that front knee. And then we'll straighten that leg out. Come really high onto that back heel. And then lower the hands down to the shin, the ankle, or all the way down onto the mat. And now from here, just rebend into that front knee. So we're coming into that runner's lunge. Plant that left hand twist. Right arm reaches up. And bring that hand down. Step back to our plank. Down. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips up to the sky. Down dog. Feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through. Back heel lowers down. Inhale those arms up. Warrior one. Core tight. Bend into that front knee nice and strong through that back heel. And we'll interlace those fingers. Open that chest. Hover it. And then we'll lift that right leg up, squaring the hips off, pressing through that back heel, reaching through those knuckles. Big step back into that crescent lunge, reaching those arms up, back heel stays lifted, bend into that front knee. Then we'll straighten that front leg out, reach the arms forward, nice flat back, hands lower down. Then we'll rebend into that front knee, into that runner's lunge. Plant that right hand twist, left arm reaches up. Lower the hand down, step it back to our plank and vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. And then inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Bring those big toes together to touch. Heels can be just slightly separated. Inhale, we'll rise up to standing. And exhale, sink those hips down into that chair. So soften those shoulders down, core tight. Back is nice and flat, so knees are coming forward as the hips sink back. Now we'll hover that chest, reach the arms back, lift those the heels up nice and high. Now we'll drop the heels down, inhaling those arms up. Back to our chair. Then exhale, hover that chest, lift those heels up, reaching the arms back. And then heels down. Sink it back into our chair. And one more time, hover. Core tight, heels are lifted. And then heels down, stand up nice and tall. Ooh, balance, and then fold. Flat back on that inhale. And exhale, plant those hands, step those feet back to our plank. Let's add in that push up again. And vinyasa. Down dog when you're ready. Feet together, inhale, left, right leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee in. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, curl it in. Step that foot through. Back heel down. Inhale, reach those arms up. Bring those hands down. Interlace those fingers. Open that chest. Good. Fold as we lift that back leg up. Really strong through the core, through that back leg as well as that standing leg. And we'll take the big step back. Crescent lunge. Straighten the front leg as we fold. And we'll rebend into that knee as we twist. That right arm reaches up. And hand down. Step it back to our plank. Vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. Feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. Curl that knee in, stepping that foot through. Warrior one. Good. Arms down. Interlace the fingers, shoulders stretch. Then hover that chest, lift that back leg up. Big step back into that crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Straighten that front leg and fold. Then rebend into that knee. Plant that right hand twist. Left arm reaches up. And hands down. Step it back. Vinyasa. Down dog when you're ready. And then come onto the toes. Bend those knees. Step or hop those feet. Top of the mat. Toes together to touch. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Sink deep into that chair. We'll hover that chest. Lift the heels. Reach the arms back. Heels down. Arms up, chair. Exhale, hover. Lift the heels. Last time, heels down. Arms up, chair. And hover. Now from here, keep those heels lifted. Let's come all the way up to standing. So we're squeezing those feet, ankles, legs together, core tight, reaching up nice and tall. And lower those heels down as we fold. Flat back on that inhale. And plant the hands. Step those feet back to our plank. Let's add in that push up. And vinyasa. Exhaling those hips back to a quick child's pose. Quick catch of the breath. You can even bring those palms to face up, so a little bit different. Stretch the upper back into those lats. Go ahead and plant those hands. Come on up to the hands and knees. Step it back to our plank. And down dog. Feet together, inhale. Right leg lifts. We'll bring that right into that right elbow. Inhale that leg up. Bend into that top knee. Open up that hip. We'll bring that knee across the body to that right or to the left elbow. Inhale, bring it back up. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through, twisting. Right arm reaches up. So left hand is down. Right arm is reaching up. Now we're going to lower right hand down a few inches in front of that foot. We're going to go into a half moon. So we're going to lift left leg up. Open up through that hip as we start to extend that left arm up towards the sky. Maybe you reach up so much that that right hand starts to lift. Get really strong through the standing leg, through that left leg. Take a big step back into a warrior two. My core is tight. Reach those arms out. Now we're going to reverse it. So we're going to reach that right arm up, left hand slides down. And then we're just going to bend into that right elbow. So a little more stretch through that tricep. Maybe this left arm comes up. We can grab on to and release those fingers or grab onto those fingers. Okay, or maybe you can use the shirt as well. Bend that front knee a little bit more. Reach that elbow up and back. So tricep stretch, side stretch. And then we'll release it, reach out those arms. Extended side angle, so lower that forearm down, or that hand can come inside that foot as that left arm reaches up overhead. Now let's spin. Left hand down, left heel spins up, right arm reaches up. And then that hand down, step it back to our plank, vinyasa. And exhale, down dog. Feet together. Inhale that left leg up. Bring that left knee to the left elbow. Inhale, send it up, open that hip, bend that top knee. And now bring that knee across to the right elbow. Inhale it back up. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through, twisting, left arm reaches up. And lower that left hand down a few inches in front of that foot. And then we're going to lift that leg, open up through that hip, reaching that right arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe that left leg floats, or the left arm starts to float up. And then we'll take a big step back into that warrior two. Reverse it. So we'll reach that left arm up, start to bend that elbow. Okay. Patting yourself on the back, and then this right elbow bends. Try and grab onto those fingertips. And so looking forward, lifting that elbow up and back a little more, bend into that front knee. I'm sure not bending, not arching back, but finding that nice side bend. Then we'll reach out those arms, extended side angle, so we can lower that hand down, reaching that right arm up and over. And then we'll spin that right hand down, right heel reaches, lifts up, and then left arm up towards the sky. Hand down, step it back to our plank, vinyasa. And down dog. Now bring the feet together. Right leg lifts, right into that right elbow. Inhale it back up, open up that hip, bend that top knee. Bring that knee across to the left elbow. Inhale, send it back up. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through, twist, right arm reaches up. Hand out, lowers down, lift, half moon. And now big step back, finding that warrior two. Flipping that palm, reach it up, bending into that elbow. Maybe those hands find each other. And reach out those arms. Extended side angle. Good, now from here, reverse it, straightening that front leg, flip that palm, reach it up and back. Now reach out the arms, front leg, stay straight. Reach that hand forward, hand can come down to the shin or maybe come down to the ground. Left arm is reaching up. We don't want a lot of weight in that right hand. And then try and find that left thumb. Now we're going to lower the left hand down. Spin that left heel up, twisting, reaching that right arm up. Now from here, we're going to come into that full side plank. So we're going to drop the left heel to that left side. Right leg comes back into our side plank. Now we're going to lower that right forearm all the way down towards the mat. Spinning those heels over to that right side. Left arm reaches up. And both forearms will come down to the mat. Forearm front plank. So grip those fingertips into the mat. Okay, now press the shoulders back behind those elbows. Starting to walk those feet up to the hands, pressing the heels down, pressing the hips up. And then slide those feet back. Come forward to that front plank on the forearms. Drop those hips down, reaching those arms back, and then extend up. So lifting the shoulders, the arms, the legs, squeezing those legs together. And then we'll lower those hands down underneath the shoulders, curl the toes, reverse that plank, and hips up, down dog. Bring those feet together, inhaling that left leg up. Left knee to that left elbow. Inhale it up, open up that hip, bend that top knee. Bring that knee across to that right elbow. Inhale, send it back up. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through, twisting. Left arm reaches up. Hand down, extend or half moon, balance. And step it back. Warrior two. Flip that front palm, reach it up and back, reversing our warrior, bending that elbow, finding the fingers. And then re-tee out those arms, extended side angle, reaching that right arm up overhead, nice tight core, taking that arch out of the low back, bend into that front knee a little more. And then inhale, we'll rise back up, straighten that front leg, flip that palm, reach it up and back. And then we'll re-tee out those arms, slight bend in that front knee, reach that hand forward, hands lower down, right arm reaches up. Now we're going to rebend into that left knee, plant that right hand down, twisting left arm up. Now we'll send that foot back to our side plank. Now left forearm is going to lower down. Left heel, or the heels drop down to the left, right arm reaches up. Coming back to our front plank, both forearms down. And now we'll press those hips up, start to, small steps, walk those feet up to those elbows, pressing the hips up, back is nice and flat. So you can gaze forward just slightly. And then we'll walk those toes back, come forward to our front plank, and then drop those hips down. This time we're going to interlace those fingers behind the back. So open up through that chest, pull those knuckles towards the heels, lifting the legs up, squeezing those feet together. One more breath. And release it down. Hands underneath those shoulders. Reversing that plank. And hips up. Downward facing dog. Couple more breaths. Now let's come forward to a plank. Dropping the heels to the right. Left arm reaches up. Front plank. Heels to the left. Right arm reaches up. Now right forearm lowers down. Heels to the right. Left arm up. Then left forearm down. Heels to the left or right arm reaches up. Back to forearm plank. Both arms. Now, start to press those hips back, walking those feet towards the elbows, gripping those fingertips into the mat. We can lift that right leg up and down. Left leg lifts and down. Now, from here, we can just keep alternating, lifting, holding our breath so fast or slower, or holding it for longer than I just did. Or we can lift that right leg up, bend into that left knee, start to add little baby hops to it. Try and get that foot stacked over the shoulders. Okay, then switch sides, lower that right foot down, left leg lifts, little baby hops. If you can hold that forearm head or handstand, great, go for it. Oof. And then come back to that front plank. Lower those hips down. Let's reach those arms back, interlacing those fingers, open up through that chest. So pulling the knuckles back to lift that chest up, lifting those legs up. Another breath. And then soften it down. Bring those hands under the shoulders. Let's press it back into a child's pose. Good, reconnecting with that breath, or maybe catching that breath. You can let those arms relax. Softening that chest down towards the mat. And come back onto those hands and knees. Let's step it back to a down dog. We're going to bring that right knee to the right wrist. Foot comes across. Sliding that left leg back into our pigeon. Now, if you want to add that quad stretch, bend that back knee. Good, reaching that right hand back for that foot, or maybe even that ankle. So we want to make sure that toe is pointing straight up. So gently press that foot into the hand, and you can pull it back towards you. So again, push and pull. Again, push and pull. And slowly releasing that foot down, resting that head down. So we want to keep pulling that right shin back, left knee's pulling forward, and then soften into this. Then come back to your hands. Go and step it back to our down dog. Now we'll bring that left knee to that left wrist. Foot comes across. Sliding that right leg back. And maybe going into that quad stretch. So bending into that right knee. Left hand reaches back. Grab onto that foot or the ankle. And then just gently press and pull. Press and pull. One more time, press and pull. And go ahead and release that foot if you have it. Lower those forearms down. Resting that head. And pulling that left shin back, right knee forward. And then come back to those hands. Slowly step it back, down dog. And then let's come onto your backs. Just hugging those knees in. Give it a gentle rock from side to side, maybe even circling those knees out. Then we'll keep that right knee in, left leg extends out. And twist. That left hand guides that knee across, right arm reaches out. And then bring that knee back up. Switching sides. Left knee hugs in, right leg extends out. And twist. Left arm out. Big breath in. And twist. And bring that knee back up. Hug those knees in, around that spine, bringing the forehead to the knees. Then we'll extend those legs out, reach those arms overhead, that full body stretch from the fingertips down through those toes. And then we'll bring those arms down by the sides, palms will face up, shoulder blades walk together. Take that big breath in. And exhale, open the mouth, side out. Just letting yourself completely rest for these next few minutes. Begin to deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And reaching those arms overhead. Again, that full body stretch, fingertips down through those toes. And hug those knees in. Gently rolling over onto your side. And press yourself up into that seat. Eyes remain closed, sitting up nice and tall. Taking a few final breaths just to finish up this practice. Big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And blinking those eyes open. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. Have a great evening, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow.